I think we all experience that feeling, when time flies so fast while on phone, you say you're gonna open TikTok for 5 minutes, and suddenly it's 3 a.m., you've watched hundreds of videos. That's not just distraction, that's brain rot. And today, we're diving into why your brain feels like soup. So sit and relax, allow me to take you through this journey, to help you and me enlighten our minds. Enjoy. You know that feeling like your brain's melting after hours of scrolling. That's not just burnout, that's brain rot, and it's not just a meme, it's a warning. In 1854, Henry David Thoreau, in his book Walden, criticized shallow reading habits that prioritized quantity over quality, foreshadowing modern concerns about digital distractions. In his observations, he warned against the mental deterioration that could stem from such habits. He criticized the tendency to consume information or literature in a way that lacks depth and reflection, which aligns conceptually with the idea of mental fuzziness caused by overstimulation. Today, modern commentators often interpret or represent his critique of shallow reading and superficial intellectual habits as an early expression of what we might now call brain rot. In 2024, brain rot was named the Oxford Word of the Year, highlighting its relevance in contemporary discourse about mental well-being and the quality of information consumed online. The term encapsulates concerns about intellectual decline attributed to the overconsumption of trivial or nonsensical content, which can lead to a perceived loss of critical thinking skills and cognitive engagement. From TikTok to Thoreau, brain rot has always been about what happens when we feed our minds junk. The interaction of short-form content with the brain reveals critical insights about our cognitive processes and behaviors. Dopamine loops, activated by short-form content, engage the brain's reward systems, reinforcing the desire to consume more such material. This is particularly evident in social media platforms where brief videos or updates stimulate dopamine release, creating a cycle where users seek the quick satisfaction of these dopamine hits, often resulting in compulsive viewing behavior. Alongside dopamine loops, attention fragmentation occurs as individuals constantly switch between tasks or content types. This continuous shifting reduces overall focus and cognitive capacity, making it increasingly difficult for individuals to engage deeply with any single piece of information. Research indicates that this fragmentation poses risks not only to individual productivity, but also to broader psychological health, as constant distractions diminish the ability to concentrate. MRI studies have shown a tangible link between smartphone addiction and structural brain changes, particularly concerning gray matter density. These studies suggest that excessive engagement with digital devices can lead to detectable reductions in gray matter, which is associated with various cognitive functions and behaviors. This evidence reinforces concerns about the long-term impact of device use on cognitive health. However, experts like Dr. Ben Becker advise against immediate alarm over these findings, emphasizing that the observed effects do not constitute a clinical diagnosis. The brain's adaptability means that while certain changes may be concerning, they are not necessarily indicative of permanent damage, and behaviors can be modified for healthier engagement with technology. Meaning, Dr. Becker warned against treating brain rot as a medical condition. It's more a metaphor for how overstimulation might affect mental clarity, not a formal medical term. You might find yourself in some of these examples. Scrolling endlessly through social media feeds without remembering what you saw. Watching multiple short videos back to back but feeling mentally drained afterward. Starting a book or article but quickly losing interest and switching to something easier or more entertaining. Checking your phone repeatedly during conversations or work, leading to fragmented attention. Feeling overwhelmed by notifications and unable to focus on one thing at a time? Personally, I do them all, sadly, really. Let's see what some experts has to say about this. Nicholas Carr's The Shallows argues that the internet significantly fosters shallow thinking. Carr posits that the internet's design, with its constant hyperlinks and distractions, encourages users to skim rather than engage deeply with texts. This shift towards superficial engagement is seen to degrade our ability to concentrate, process information comprehensively, and engage in reflective thought. In Reader, Come Home, Marianne Wolf discusses how the digital age is rewiring our brains, impacting our capacity for deep reading. Wolf emphasizes that screens may alter the neural pathways that facilitate the kind of sustained attention and critical thinking required for deep reading experiences. She indicates that this recalibration of our reading habits can lead to a less nuanced understanding of complex texts. Johann Hari, in Stolen Focus, explores the issue of collapsing attention spans attributed to digital distractions. He highlights how modern technology, particularly through constant notifications and the rapid pace of information delivery, fragments our attention. This phenomenon is further compounded by the demands of multitasking, which can lead to cognitive overload and negatively affect our ability to focus fully on tasks at hand. Lastly, Kai Mercer's Brain Rot delves into the concept of overstimulation as a cultural wake-up call. Mercer argues that contemporary society's incessant barrage of information and stimuli leads to what is characterized as brain rot, a decline in mental acuity and emotional resilience due to constant engagement with low-quality content. Is brain rot always bad? Not necessarily. In a world that demands constant productivity, brain rot can feel like a quiet act of rebellion, a way to reclaim time, attention, and emotional space. Gen Z has turned brain rot into a kind of performance art. By leaning into absurdity, low-effort content, and overstimulation, they mock the grind-set mentality. It's a way to say, I refuse to optimize every moment of my life. And that refusal becomes a badge of authenticity. Sometimes, brain rot is a soft landing. When stress, burnout, or emotional overload hits, repetitive or niche content offers a sense of safety. It's not laziness. It's regulation, in small doses. It can help people reset without needing to explain or justify their feelings. But there's a flip side. When brain rot becomes chronic, it can spiral into avoidance. Choosing chaos over structure might feel freeing at first, but over time it can erode motivation, blur priorities, and make re-entry into productive routines harder. The difference lies in intention and duration. Maybe brain rot isn't failure, maybe it's survival. A way to say, I need a break, not a breakthrough. Brain rot isn't the enemy, it's the excess that hurts. When used intentionally, it can be a playful pause or a creative reset. The trick is knowing when to lean in and when to pull back. Here's how to keep the chaos fun without letting it derail your focus. Set boundaries before the scroll begins. Use screen timers, app blockers, or focus modes to create friction between impulse and action. Even a 20-minute limit can shift brain rot from endless to intentional. Not all content is equal. Swap passive doom scrolling for active consumption, like podcasts, audiobooks, or even print. You still get stimulation, but with more narrative, depth, or emotional payoff. Use brain rot as a reward, not a default. Try Pomodoro cycles, 25 minutes work, 5 minutes break, and fill the breaks with movement, breathing, or short creative bursts. It keeps your brain refreshed without slipping into a spiral. Ask yourself, did I choose this, or did I fall into it? Intentional rot is restorative and playful. Accidental rot is often a sign of avoidance or burnout. Naming the difference helps you course correct without guilt. So, you don't need a detox, you need a strategy. Scroll smart, not endlessly. We've gone from chaotic memes to neuroscience-backed coping. And landed in the realm of mindful balance. Brain rot isn't just a punchline, it's a mirror of how we rest, rebel, and sometimes reset. Whether it's comfort or chaos, the key is knowing how to use it. Now it's your turn. What's your rot habit? What's one thing you'll try this week to balance it? If you ever reached this point, thank you, my dear. Show us some love and support. Till we meet in the next episode in a new journey. See you guys later. Take care.